following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Houston.
The hometown fans have been treated to some dramatic wins this week.
Line drive center field. Bogusevic is coming to the plate. Here's the throw from Kemp, and the Astros win it in the bottom of the ninth again.
Tonight, Brett Myers and the Astros start a weekend series against the red-hot Diamondbacks. It's next on Fox Sports Houston. Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, it's the first of a three-game weekend series. The Astros meet the hard-charging Arizona Diamondbacks. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. The Astros won 2 of those games in the previous series in the bottom of the ninth inning. Had a day to recover from that yesterday, JD.
Yeah, they've won back-to-back series for the first time all year, but they face a red-hot Arizona Diamondback team this weekend. They won 9 out of 10, and we'll turn our attention to center field, where a couple of fleet-footed Houstonians will patrol the outfield here this weekend. Chris Young, boy, good numbers in his career against the Astros. .330 lifetime hitter, better than .400 in this ballpark. Michael Bourne had that leadoff home run the other day. He provides the spark at the top of the order for the Astros.
Coming up, it's game 1 of this set with Brett Myers going to the mound for the Astros, and they get Jeff Keppinger back, and he is in the lineup tonight against the D-backs and Daniel Hudson in just a moment.
By the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. As you see, Minute Maid Park, we're set for baseball with the roof closed. Greg Lucas down on the sideline. The Astros are on the field. That means Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies are set to call the action from up top, guys.
Well, thank you, Greg. And we just got word that Wandy Rodriguez will be scratched from starting tomorrow night's game. And Bud Norris will be starting tomorrow night with Jay Happ working the Sunday game because of the off day yesterday. Both of them will be pitching on 4 days rest. Wandy will be getting an MRI on his left elbow tomorrow. Ryan Roberts leads it off. At third base for the D-backs, it's Kelly Johnson at second. Justin Upton in right field. Stephen Drew, the cleanup man, at shortstop. Chris Young of Houston and Bel Air High School is the center fielder with Miguel Montero, the catcher. Juan Miranda plays first base. Gerardo Parra's in left field, and Daniel Hudson has been a good starting pitcher for them.
Brett Myers for the Astros tonight. He's 1-4 with an ERA right at 5. He has not won a ball game since April 12th. That's 7 consecutive starts without a W for Myers. Obviously looking to get that turned around.
First pitch to Ryan Roberts was ball 1 for Myers. He gets a ground ball to a drawn-in third baseman, Chris Johnson, for an easy out, number 1.
That's a good start. All right, so CJ make the play. Let's take a look at the rest of the Astros defensively tonight. Lee Bourne and Pence control the outfield. Johnson, Barmas, Keppinger in there. Nice to see Kep back. Brett Wallace, your first sacker. Humberto Quintero, the hind catcher.
Here's the way they look at Minute Maid Park tonight as Kelly Johnson steps up. Not much of a batting average, but he's hit for power. Here's ball 1 to Johnson, the former Atlanta Brave, at 204, but with 7 homers and 18 runs batted in.
Yeah, that's somewhat representative of this Diamondback lineup. They don't hit for average, but they do hit a lot of home runs. Team batting average of just 245, but a bunch of home runs, a lot of doubles. And they score a lot, especially in their home ballpark.
Myers works him away, and it's 2-1 to Johnson, who hit a couple of homers and a couple of doubles in the Colorado series. Arizona won 3 of 4 at Coors Field. Fly ball to left. Goes to Carlos Lee. 2 outs for Myers. Myers is 2-2 in his career against Arizona. D-backs are only a game and a half out of first place, with the Giants holding down that top spot at 27-22. Kirk Gibson has come in as the skipper this year on a 2-year deal. Surrounded himself with a lot of excellent coaching talent. He was the MVP in the ALCS for Detroit in '84 and the MVP in the National League for the Dodgers in '88.
Only league MVP, never to make an all-star team.
Ooh, that's a good one.
There's your random Kirk Gibson factoid of the night.
Strike to Justin Upton, an enormously talented outfielder with 9 homers, 24 runs batted in. And it's a 1-1 strike count to the brother of B.J. Upton with Tampa Bay. And Justin, one of those guys who really has all the tools it takes to be very, very successful in Major League Baseball. He's only 23. Thrilled by that pitch. And he's on with 2 outs. Second hit batsman for Myers this year.
McHugh is set up down and away for that fastball and just sailed on Myers, and Upton paid the price.
Stephen Drew follows. Myers threw 101 pitches Saturday in that loss to the Blue Jays, allowing 5 earned runs in 6 2/3 innings. Gave up a couple of home runs in that game, one to Jose Bautista. Drew at 265 has had some big hits late this season for the D-backs. There's strike 1 to Stephen. He has 12 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 homers. Hit his first career grand slam against the Cubs April 28th as well.
Wow, that's a generous strike zone right there for Ted Barrett. Yeah, get out there again. We'll throw a fastball in.
Snap throw at first. Pretty close. Upton diving back in.
Upton, the kind of base runner you're going to take some shots at because he's a speedy guy. He likes to try to press his advantage with his speed, but He does not score high marks in terms of baseball instincts. Looked like he got back safely. You'll get a good look at it here. Yeah, good call.
Now 2 balls and a strike. Upton is 9 for 13 in stolen bases. Stephen Drew has led off 14 times this year, but batting cleanup tonight. Eric Young, the former excellent base stealer, is the first base coach. Quick move over to first, and it's Matt Williams coaching third. This is a glittering coaching staff.
Just like that Dodger staff that was in here. It's pretty good resumes.
It really is.
Alan Trammell's over there.
Don Baylor, Charles Nagy.
Yeah. Doesn't make them good coaches necessarily, but
got their credentials.
Good big league players, yeah.
Don Baylor lives in Austin. Part of the time in the winter. He said his second granddaughter is here tonight, making her major league debut as a fan. Said his first granddaughter is 3.5. Did that same thing a few years ago when he was in Houston. And then, of course, he remembers playing his first game in the Astrodome, so he has fond memories of his days in Houston. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Upton ready to move. And Baylor is the hitting coach this year. This club is 3rd in the league in runs scored. So he has to be liking what he's seeing at least some of the time. Swing and a miss. Myers gets a strikeout on Drew to end a scoreless first inning. The Astros have this Brad Mills starting lineup card that's different because following Michael Bourne in center field is Jeff Keppinger playing his first Astros game this season at second base. It's Hunter Pence in right field. He's put together a 7-game hitting streak. Carlos Leaves in left, Brent Wallace at first, Chris Johnson third, Clint Farmer shortstop, Humberto Quintero catcher, Brett Myers pitcher.
Well, Daniel Hudson has really turned his season around. He's 5-5 now with a 3.82 ERA. That after starting the season 0-4. Really gotten it going of late.
Michael Bourne hit a home run on the first pitch Wednesday. There's strike one.
4-1, 2.27 ERA in the month of May for this 24-year-old right-hander from Old Dominion University.
Bourne smacks one off the glove, deflected out to second base. No play by Johnson. And Bourne gets on an infield hit. So leadoff homer Wednesday, leadoff infield hit Friday for Michael.
Leadoff home run. He was able to jog around the bases. Now his mission will be to run around the bases. This is familiar territory for Michael. After the deflection, not much of a chance to make a play on Bourne.
The Astros have stolen 85% of the time they have attempted to steal. Jeff Keppinger is a very good #2 hitter, as you'll recall. Led the team with 37 doubles last year while hitting .288. and had a good RBI year out of that number 2 spot. He's the type of hitter who can take a pitch so the leadoff man can steal. He can advance him. Good contact man, doesn't strike out a whole lot. Hudson throws over to Miranda.
Montero has caught to 20% trying to steal this year. And he's made 8 errors, which is a big number for a catcher.
13 infield hits now for Michael. That is a big number for a catcher.
I was looking at some numbers today and I saw that. And I thought it was a misprint. Boy, checked a couple different websites and they all confirmed it. And I asked the guys next door, where are all these errors coming from? And they said mostly it's stolen base attempts and pickoffs. He likes to throw to first base, try to pick runners off, and he's made a couple errant throws down there apparently.
Well, you know what's coming soon then with those numbers. There's strike 1 to Keppinger, though, and that gets Hudson ahead in the count. That's a deterrent to a stolen base try sometimes. Keppinger just coming off the DL tonight.
Fastball, changeup, slider for Hudson. He's got a dandy of a changeup. Nice loose arm action. Works up in the zone with a fastball effectively.
Now it's 1-1.
Pitched well for the Diamondbacks last year. Originally signed by the White Sox. And then the D-backs got him in a trade for Edwin Jackson.
Keppinger had 11 games in the minor leagues on his rehab assignment after the foot surgery. Well, that's a blazer right over the outside edge at 93. That had some nice late movement to it. It's 1-2.
This is a nice fluid arm action he's got. Low 3/4 delivery.
Michael draws a throw. Keppinger was the toughest to strike out in the majors last year. He averaged 1 strikeout every 16 plate appearances. He had a little stomach unease on Wednesday night. He was scratched from that game. He shoots that one foul. He had been scheduled to play Wednesday for Oklahoma City and then have yesterday off and return to the lineup, but the plan held true even though he missed the game Wednesday. So he last played Tuesday for the Red Hawks, going 1 for 4, scoring a run. Had a .318 batting average in 11 games for AA Corpus Christi and AAA Oklahoma City. Line shot caught. Johnson over to first. No double play. Tough luck for Keppinger. He hit that one on the button.
Well, let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defensively. Very good coverage in the outfield. A lot of speed out there. Parra Young and Justin Upton. Upton's had his problems out there, though. Roberts and Drew handle the left side. Kelly Johnson, Juan Miranda, the right side. Miguel Montero. Talked about him a little bit ago. He's the catcher.
Hunter Pence is the hitter. 7-game hitting streak. .419 for Hunter. Excellent plays in the outfield on this homestand. Here's ball 1. He's doing it all. He's tied for 6th in total bases in the National League right now. Tied for 4th in runs batted in with 37, and with that .301 average, he's gone deep 6 times. Hunter has 62 hits right now. That ties him for 3rd best in the National League. Diamondbacks really working on Michael Bourne, who's 18 for 20 in steals. He leads the league in stolen bases. Hudson and Myers squared off last year. Both went 6 innings and neither got the decision. It's 2-0. We talked about that good run for Daniel Hudson. He certainly has put together a lot of innings in recent starts. 6 straight quality starts. He's gone 6 innings in only one of those. More than 6 in all the others. Went 7 3 times and 8 his last time. That's rocked to center field. A well hit ball. Young back. Young watches that one go off the wall. Here's Bourne around third. And the relay goes to third. It is 1-0 on an RBI double by Hunter Pence. 16th double. And you could hear the resounding back crack at Minute Maid Park. That was a rocket.
Hunter looked like he may be in a little pain out there. Boy, he got extended through that ball. Behind in the count, Hudson felt like he had to come in. He came in, and he paid the price. And Michael Bourne, coming all the way around from first base with his speed, scores easily. No chance to make a play on the speedster.
He's home, and Carlos Lee's batting. Looking at strike one. 247 for Carlos, 4 homers. He's driven in 25. 16 doubles for Hunter Pence. 8-game hitting streak now. Kelly Johnson jockeying with him at second. It's 0-2 for Daniel Hudson. Hudson beat the Twins 3-2 last time out, giving up 2 runs in 8 innings. Carlos, with those numbers, has found dramatic improvement in his batting average in the month of May. Hitting .324 in May with 2 homers, 10 runs batted in 74 at-bats. Outside, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. The Astros are 19-31. But lately they've been showing some positive movement. Winning 2 of 3 in Toronto, winning 2 of 3 from the Dodgers. Brad Mills' club with the dramatics late to win those 2. Bounce slowly and cutting over. Kelly Johnson makes a throw across his body. Bad throw. Hunter Pence comes home. Throw goes to second. Rundown here on Carlos. Miranda back to Drew, and the tag. But it's 2-0 Astros. Johnson cut in front of Drew and tried to make the play.
Yeah, very difficult play for Johnson. He was way on the shortstop side. Carlos could take some measure of comfort that by the time that rundown ended, the entire Diamondback team was in the infield. It's probably a personal record for the longest he's ever stayed in a rundown. If we see at the end, you'll see at the end, the outfielders are coming in to provide support as if he's some kind of elusive bandit. And the whole team in the infield.
Like Roberts over there. 3-6-3-4.
Center fielder and left fielder were on the infield dirt when that ended.
It's an error on Johnson, and then 3-6-3-4 on the rundown. And Brett Wallace takes ball 1.
A single E4, so no RBI. The runner scored on the error.
Okay. 3-14 for Brett. And the movement brings it back to the corner for a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
I don't know why Kelly Johnson even played that ball. It seems,
no.
You know,
it was such an unusual throwing angle for a second baseman.
Drew had to be there to make the play. He wouldn't have been way in the hole for Carlos.
Yeah, he was behind Johnson. We'll probably be able to get another look at that. He just seemed to be lagging back. He wasn't very aggressive in charging the ball. But that is not the second baseman's ball. You're right. So Johnson tried to make the play, wound up getting an error for it. Wallace in the air, and the center fielder is back. Young a few steps. And in the first inning, the Astros cash in with 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. They lead it 2-0.
making cancer history. It was on May 27th, 2008. Hunter Pence hit his first and only 5-hit game. And Miguel Tejada hits a 2-run homer as the Astros beat the Cardinals 8-2. 3 years ago, right here.
Thank you, Greg. We have a correction on that Carlos Lee rundown. The play went from 3-6 to 3-5. Ryan Roberts made the tag on Lee. 2-0 Astros. We go to the second inning, and it's Chris Young leading it off. Bel Air High School star taking strike one.
Here's that play. I want to just see where Stephen Drew was. Yeah, he was cruising on over there. He was in position to make a play on that ball.
Myers throws another strike, and it's 0-2 on Young. A .230 hitter with 9 homers, 26 runs batted in.
Perhaps could have been a little more assertive chasing Kelly Johnson off that ball, but Astros catch a break, score a bonus run, and now Brett Myers has a 2-run cushion to work with.
One of those runs, by the way, was earned, the other unearned in the 2-run Astros first. In the air, and Michael Bourne, who was around the batting cage with Young before the game as the two Houston center field products, takes care of Young's fly ball, 1 out.
Chris Young, a .419 hitter at Minute Maid Park. Last year in a 4-game series here, went 7 out of 16. Had hits in all 4 games.
Miguel Montero hit a real 3-run bomb last night at Colorado. And the Diamondbacks win over the Rockies. His 5th home run of the year. He has 20 runs batted in. Looking at ball 1 from Myers. Montero carries a .273 batting average. Very good offensive catcher.
Here's our Fox Tracks, brought to you by Steel, and is showing us that Ted Barrett's going to have a loose outside corner tonight.
Now it's 2-1 with Miranda on deck. Myers shooting for win number 2 of the year against this Diamondbacks club, which is 4th in total bases. Off the end of the bat, out to left field, Carlos Lee. 2 outs. And Miranda comes up. Juan was in the Yankee organization, and he was traded to Arizona last winter for Scott Allen. 28 years old. He had just 64 major league at bats last year, hitting .262 this year with 3 homers, 10 runs batted in.
It's a tough position to be, a first baseman in the Yankee organization. Mark Teixeira pretty well locked up there for a while.
It's got to be a break if you can get traded from behind him.
Yeah.
Ball 1 to Miranda. Well, Miranda's had this chance to get more playing time at first base in a different organization. There were several possibilities at first when spring training opened for the D-backs. Russell Branyan was another. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
Brandon Allen, the kid from Conroe that we saw in the big leagues last year.
From the right side, Xavier Nady. In the air, and now it's Carlos Lee underneath. Clint Barmas went out, and that's 3 in a row for Myers to maintain his 2-0 lead in the second.
Bash, presented by Budweiser, is tomorrow before the 6:05 game against the Diamondbacks. Bayou Bash will be open to all fans with a game ticket to enjoy crawfish, drinks, and live music. Fans can visit astros.com/Bayou for a special discount ticket offer, including food and drink.
Chris Johnson, the leadoff man here in inning number 2, hits one out of play. There's strike one for Daniel Hudson. Chris, a .212 hitter, has 5 homers. He's driven in 23. Currently 0 for his last 11. Hudson's on the edge with that one, and it's no balls, 2 strikes to CJ. Chris has driven in 6 runs in his last 6 games. Fouls that one. Boy, Hudson's got a nice tempo. Good arm on this right-hander, JD.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a unique delivery. I think it would be difficult for him to catch that outside corner to a right-handed hitter with his fastball. I think the tendency would be for his fastball to come back to the middle of the plate.
Out into center field. That loops in for a hit. Johnson gets the 0-2 pitch and does something with it.
Elevated the slider. The double that Hunter Pence hit was on a fastball that was pretty much right over the middle of the plate and up a little bit. And this is a high slider. So Hudson not particularly sharp with his location here in the early going.
Clint Barmas, a .218 hitter with a homer, has driven in 4. That's strike one. So from that arm angle, do you think sometimes maybe he drops down a little bit too far and the slider might flatten out for him?
Well, I don't know. That would be my guess. Just his slider is more of an east-west pitch. It'd be difficult. It's difficult to get a lot of tilt on a slider with that arm angle.
Oh, hit by the pitch. It's happened a couple times on this homestand to Clint Barmas, and 3 times this season he's been hit.
Clearly Hudson not his sharpest right now, so you got to take advantage. Got 2 on the board already. Now 2 quick base runners. Got Clint and the umpire.
Oh,
boom.
Yeah, did.
Yeah.
Right shoulder.
He should get 2 bases for that.
Now 2 men on for Humberto Quintero. A .245 hitter with 9 runs batted in. Brett Myers on deck. And there's ball 1. And this is what's really enjoyable to a lot of fans of pitching, to see if a guy like Hudson in this situation can make the adjustments, because obviously he's a little out of whack right here. 277 for the Astros with men in scoring position. And he misses again to make it 2-0.
Yeah, and I think what may be hurting him a little bit here, we've seen Ted Barrett have a wide zone, at least on the other side of the plate with a left-handed hitter up there, but Montero's sitting right down the middle and then reaching for that pitch that's off the outside corner. If he were setting up a little bit towards the outside edge and were able to frame that pitch in the middle of his body, he may be getting some of these calls.
All the way, and it's 2-1. Hudson just 24 years old, listed at 6'3". 230 pounds, from Lynchburg, Virginia, as JD mentioned, Old Dominion University. 5th round pick in 08 by the White Sox.
2009 he started in low A ball and he worked his way all the way to the big leagues with the White Sox. Into high A, double A, triple A, and then the big leagues all in 1 year.
It's 2-2. And last year, the White Sox and Arizona, he put together an 8-2 record with a 2.45 ERA, striking out 84 in 95 innings.
7-1 with the D-backs with a low ERA. He's allowed just 3 home runs this year in 66 innings.
He came back to get the strikeout. That's number 1 for him.
And the velocity, it kind of jumps on you. I mean, it's a nice fluid delivery. That was 95 miles an hour over the outside corner. One situation here for Brett Myers, but Dave Clark, third base coach, in to have a chat with him. See the breakdown. 95 miles an hour has been his best fastball. Changeup coming in at 83. Slider is about 87.
Myers has one sacrifice this year. Puts it down. Hudson over. Throwing to Kelly Johnson for the sacrifice from 1 to 4. Johnson to third. Varmus to second for Michael Bourne with 2 outs.
Excellent job there by Myers getting that bunt down. Now a base hit could score 2. Left-handed hitters have had a lot more success against righties against Hudson. Lefties hitting .294.
Corner infielders in close for Michael. Strike 1.
Throw that changeup more to the left-handed hitters, and that was a dandy.
There's that breakdown you discussed. Now it's 0-2. The Astros 2-1 on this homestand, with the finale coming on Sunday. Then they leave on a week-long trip to Chicago and San Diego.
Michael's seen the whole arsenal. Changeup, fastball, slider.
The Astros have played 10 of their last 14 games decided by 1 or 2 runs. Now 2-2.
I'm betting my lunch money he throws a changeup right here.
Okay.
And I was counting on having lunch today. They're having meatloaf in the cafeteria.
Oh, one of your favorites, isn't it? All right, meatloaf riding on this one. That's smacked out into right center field. Young laying out for it. That's in for a hit and 2-run score. And here's Bourne into second base, and the Astros lead 4-0. Chris Young made an effort, but Michael Bourne drives in 2 to give him 15 runs batted in with a 4-0 Houston lead.
Boy, what a huge 2-out hit that was. After the successful sac bunt by Brett Myers, Bourne delivers on the 2-2 pitch. By the way, it was a changeup, so I get to have lunch. But more importantly, let's see how this develops. Young looked like he was going to be able to make a play on it, but does not. Michael had stopped, and he'll probably rule out a single and an error.
Ruled a double.
All right.
That's his 12th double of the year, giving him 15 runs batted in. Young almost was able to keep that ball in his glove, but it's 4-0 in Keppinger bats. He lined out to second earlier. That's ball 1. Diamondbacks played a night game last night at Coors Field, arriving in Houston about 2:30 this morning.
Hudson's allowed 3 runs or fewer in 8 of his 10 starts this year, so this is very atypical.
Sure is. Uncommon feeling for him to be roughed up like this. Out behind second base, Kelly Johnson can't flag it down. Michael Bourne to the plate. 5-0. RBI single, Keppinger.
Justice is served. It's a T for an out last time, and now a little something into shallow center here for an RBI knock. Jeff Keppinger hitting a robust 500 as a big leaguer this year.
Nice to come right back in and contribute in the first game back in a major league lineup.
Nice to provide this cushion for Brett Myers, who has struggled lately. Give him this nice cushion to work with.
Meatloaf coming for JD.
Lunch lady, lunch lady.
Now Hunter Pence with an RBI double in the first inning, scoring Michael Bourne from first. Carlos Lee's on deck. Hunter's putting together a nice bid for all-star status again. There's strike one to him. Career average in May for Hunter is .337, his best of any month. And that's third among active players in May. Grounded foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Pittsburgh beat the Cubs at Wrigley today, 4-2.
Hey, now, come on, act like you've been there before.
He might not have been there before. Way upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hunter.
That was Kevin Correa pitching for Pittsburgh today. He's having a real nice year. It was a 4-0 game. The Cubs scored 2 in the 9th off the Pirate bullpen, and then Hanrahan came in, punched out 3 in a row to get the save.
Correa's a 7-game winner. Strike 3 call. That ends the Astros second inning. Strikeout number 2 for Hudson closes the door on the Astros, but not until they have come up with a big 3-run rally. 3 hits and a man left. It's 5-0.
When you visit your local Lowe's, you can cast your MLB All-Star ballot and also enter to win a trip to the All-Star game. Compliments of Scott's.
Five nothing Astros. We go to the third inning, and it's Brett Myers with that cushion JD talked about. Working to Gerardo Parra. Parra, the number 8 hitter and left fielder, leads it off at 261. Especially nice when a pitcher has not won in a while, as you detailed earlier. He's had 7 straight starts now without a win to get those early runs.
Yeah. Kind of check that off your wish list for the game. You know, you want to pitch well, you want to shut the other guy down, but you need some run support. Well, you got that. Now just go out and get outs.
Myers misses there, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Parra. The win for Myers came here against the Cubs on the 12th of April. He got a lot of run support in that one, winning 11-2. Broken bat looper over Barmas into left center field. Michael Bourne comes in to field it.
That's hardly fair. Break a man's bat and he gets a knock like that.
Yeah.
Well, big challenge for Brett Myers. Keep the ball in the ballpark. Take a look at the breakdown. It's the home runs per 9 innings in recent years, and part of the reason why he was so good last year. Home run rate, just the lowest of his career after giving up a bunch in 2009. The inning differential was huge. He didn't pitch that many innings in 09. 220 innings last year with the Astros. But that home run rate back up again this year. He's allowed 12. Only one pitcher in the National League has allowed more.
He's facing a good home run hitting team, too. Daniel Hudson has swung the bat well, 6 for 20 with 4 sacrifices. Diamondbacks are third in the league in long balls with 53 in their first 50 games. Bunted, and it's a fair ball. Here's a throw to second. Relay throw from Clint Barmas to Jeff Keppinger on a 2-6-4 double play.
How many times do you hear the manager tells the guy, hey, we're up there to sacrifice, just get it out away from the catcher. Don't allow him to make the play on you. He's got the play right in front of him. You can see where the base runner is. And Q with that golden arm starts a big double play.
2 outs now for Myers, and he's back to the leadoff man, Roberts. Roberts looks at ball one. Roberts has been quite a story for Arizona this season. He hit .519 in spring training to lead all National League players. And looked like he might not make the club, but Jeff Blum had to have knee surgery, so he's been out all season so far. So Roberts made the club as the 25th man, so to speak. He's the emergency catcher. Started playing third base and just didn't stop hitting. A marvelous month of April.
Yeah, and offensively, to this point anyway, he may be their best player. Has an on-base percentage up around 400. I mean, probably not going to be able to sustain that, but it's been pretty impressive.
Line to Myers, and it's no runs, one hit. Nobody.
Roberts is staring him down.
Roberts is still looking out there now. Flings the bat away. The Astros leading it 5-0.
By Jack in the Box, by AT&T, by Steel, and by your local Texas Ford dealers. The Astros have a nice early lead of 5-0 with Carlos Lee coming up, and to talk about it, here's Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
Thanks, Greg. The Astros really have given themselves some working room here, and they've had very few blowout games recently. Carlos Lee with an infield hit in the first inning, then was thrown out trying to stretch that and a rundown. There's strike one to him. A steady diet of tight games for a while now for the Astros. But they have really pounded away. 5 runs on 6 hits against Hudson. He's been missing some spots too. It's a 1-ball 1-strike count. 6:05 start tomorrow night. That game will not be televised. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Neither team is allowed to televise the game due to guidelines in accordance with Major League Baseball's agreement with Fox Television regarding start times. So hopefully you can listen on radio. Astros radio is a good spot. 2-2. And it'll be not Wandy Rodriguez, but Bud Norris tomorrow night against Zach Duke. Duke broke a finger or broke his hand in spring training. He's coming off the disabled list. Pitch that game tomorrow night at 6:05 here. Ground ball. Roberts behind third. Throwing low, but Miranda's a good glove man. 1 out.
And with the off day yesterday, that does not create a problem in the rotation. So Bud goes tomorrow, half Sunday, and Uri Rodriguez would be up Monday. The question is who will pitch Tuesday. Wandy's scheduled to have that MRI tomorrow, and I guess if the reports are positive, there's a chance they could just slot him in at the back end of the rotation. But if they need to shut him down for a while, then obviously the Astros will have to reach down to the minor leagues to find a starter.
Brett Wallace looks at ball 1. A lot of the Arizona media were asking questions about Wallace today because of his background in college at Arizona State. Foul back. 1-ball, 1-strike. He won the Triple Crown in the Pac-10 at Arizona State. Was the player of the year in both 07 and 08.
I'm guessing that hasn't been done a whole bunch.
Probably
That's
not.
A lot of good players out there in that conference.
Yeah. 2-1. We just had a chat with Rick Monday a few days ago. He was an Arizona Stater. That's been an outstanding baseball school down through the years.
Bob Horner, Barry Bonds, on and on.
University of Arizona as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Wallace from Daniel Hudson. Career record of 14-8 in the majors with a 3.05 ERA for Daniel Hudson. Just fouls it away. Happy birthday wishes go out to Paul Hamm. Nice.
He shares a birthday with Jeff Bagwell.
That's right. Happy birthday to Baggy. Baggy's 43.
Maximilian the First. Vincent Price. Got a Henry Kissinger imitation in you, Brownie?
No.
Sam Snead.
Reggie Miller. Sam Snead was from West Virginia.
I don't know.
I believe so. Tremendous golfer he was. 2-2 for Daniel Hudson. Astros will be making a trip to Arizona in August. It's a liner to right. Upton handling out number 2. They make 2 trips to Los Angeles this year. They'll be in Arizona for a 4-game set, August the 8th through the 11th. Chris Johnson singled and scored to touch off that rally in the 2nd inning. He had an 0-2 pitch, and he hit it into center field. This Arizona club is a major surprise to a lot of people based on a 65-97 record last year. 26-24 so far through the first 50.
Yeah, so I guess that's the question. Are they a good team, or are they a kind of a mediocre team that's just enjoyed a nice run here over the last 10 days? Because they were 15-22, had lost 5 in a row before they went on this recent run. Time will tell. I don't think they're that good of a team, to tell you the truth, but a good surprise.
All right.
People weren't all that high in the 69 Mets or the 86 Astros for that matter.
True. Well, Kirk Gibson played on a club which was not highly regarded. The 88 Dodgers, they won it all.
Well, and that's the one thing. They like their pitching. I think they're a little nervous about their offense. And it's hard because, you know, they almost have like a Coors Field thing going on. They got a piece.
No,
apparently not.
Struck him out. We'll get back to that discussion in the 4th inning right now after 3. Astros lead it 5-0.
live streaming the Region 2 5A semifinals tomorrow at 10 a.m. if necessary. It's a Game 3 between Klein Oak and Dallas Jesuit. Then at 1 p.m. it's Game 2 of Klein versus Garland Roulette. Klein leads that series 1-0. That's on FoxSportsHouston.com. You can find it. You can follow it right there, guys.
Thank you, Greg. There is strike one to Kelly Johnson, shaking his head. He hit a fly ball to left his first time up. Slaps that one by it, drawing in Chris Johnson. It rolls out to Carlos Lee in left field, and that's hit number 2 for the D-backs.
Kelly Johnson just climbing above the 200 mark in recent games. This will help that batting average, a willingness to shoot the ball the other way. Normally up there trying to pull the ball. Nice looking stroke there.
Kelly from Austin, Texas, went to Westwood High School. He's aboard for Upton now. Upton was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Kevin Towers took over as the general manager of the Diamondbacks. He's remade the bullpen for this year, and as he went to the winter meetings last December, he even mentioned that if somebody wanted to come at him with an offer for Justin Upton, he would listen. 38 pitches for Myers.
You got to be careful not to give up on a guy like Justin Upton too soon. I think he's the type of player that frustrates you when he's yours, because he is so gifted athletically and he can do so many things on a baseball field. But he, a lot of strikeouts, misplays in the outfield, adventures on the bases, and I think it creates a lot of frustration for the D-backs. But still a pretty young guy.
Exactly. Fly ball goes out to right center. Hunter Pence coming in for it, and he makes the catch. 1 out. Johnson still at first for Stephen Drew now.
In football, they would say with a guy like that, you got to coach him up. But sometimes players just can't be coached up in baseball. So much of it is instinct. Some guys never get it.
Stephen Drew, brother of J.D. Drew, and also their brother Tim Drew was a first-round pick as well. All three from the same family, drafted in the first round.
And distant cousins of Nancy Drew.
Didn't know
Famous
that.
sleuth, yeah. Very, very talented family.
Well, the knock on J.D. Drew has been that he's never really reached the potential that many people felt he had. He's a very laid-back guy. Stephen, he's created sort of his own identity, and probably a little bit different from J.D.'s. 1 ball, 1 strike, and his career has taken a nice path in the early stages. It is 5-0 Houston. The Astros got 2 in the first, 3 more in the second inning. Brett Myers shooting for his second win of the year, leading Daniel Hudson here. That's popped up foul, and Chris Johnson comes over for Stephen Drew's foul pop. Take care of out number 2 here in the 4th for Myers. Eric Young, the coach, talking with Johnson, and it's Chris Young batting now. This is the first of a 3-game series from Minute Maid Park. The Astros at home this season are 11-14. And they have a much better ERA at home than on the road. 3.87 at home. That's 17th in Major League Baseball. On the road, their ERA is dead last, 5.31. Runner takes off with a big jump. Quintero didn't get a grip on it, but had no chance anyway. It's a stolen base for Kelly Johnson, and he's 8 for 8.
That kind of goes against baseball 101. Stealing bases when you're down 5, you're usually fearful of making an out. You're playing for a big inning, but if you get the sense the pitcher's not really paying attention, you feel like you can get a big jump and you're pretty sure you can get it. They're probably thinking, well, let's just maybe we can get 1 home here with a little scratch single now.
No balls, 2 strikes. That's Chris Young.
That's a good play if it works, right?
Yes.
You get thrown out there with a man who's got legitimate home run power in the box. It's a mistake. Bel Air High School, Ray Knobloch, the coach here for so many years. Turned out a lot of good players.
2-minute basketball player, Okafor. Strikeout looking. That's number 2. No runs, a hit, a man stranded. It is 5-0 Astros. Leagues in your local community. If you would like to learn more about Chevy Youth Baseball programs, go to youthsportswire.com. 5-0 lead for the Astros. There is a pitch up, and it is strike one. Clint Barmas, who was hit by a pitch and scored in the second, behind in the count against Daniel Hudson. That pitch misses, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count for Hudson. Red Sox lead 6-2 at Detroit. They're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Boston has put together back-to-back 14-run games. Tonight, Ellsbury hit his 6th, Crawford his 4th. Carl has really heated up, and Johnny Peralta for Detroit chimed in with number 8. Strike, that's a tough pitch, and it's 2-2. So that Boston club, after the first 10 games or so, were pretty bad, but right now in a virtual tie for the top spot in the AL East.
Red Sox Nation can exhale. It's going to be okay.
3-2. White Sox 2, Toronto 2. They've played 6 in Toronto at Rogers Center. Washington leads San Diego 1-0 in the 6th at Washington. Barmas draws the walk. He's aboard, and that's walk number 1 for Hudson to lead off the 4th inning. Quintero to follow.
Well, let's take a look at some news and notes. Who's hot, who's not. Kevin Correa, a winner again today. He's 6-1 on the road this year. There's the Red Sox, as Brownie mentioned, just lighting up the scoreboard lately. Matt Joyce, what a month of May he is having. On the downside, Paul Giannis really scuffling, hitting just 103 in May. And that big Adam Dunn. He's always been a guy who strikes out a lot, but he is really scuffling with the pail hose.
Quintero struck out in the 2nd inning.
He needs to put it on the board.
Yeah, he does. Strike one. Dunn 0 for 33 against lefties. So we have 2 7-game winners now in Major League Baseball. 1 in each league. Correa, the first to reach it in the National League with that Pirate win at Chicago today, 4-2. Getting close to the 1/3 mark of the season. This is game number 51 for the Astros.
Memorial weekend.
Into right field. Barmas takes a look at Upton, who dropped the ball. Now Barmas will go ahead to third base on a sharp single by Quintero.
And therein lies the frustration the Diamondbacks have with Upton. Just a lot of misplays. And we've talked about it a lot this year in an era where runs are down, and I don't know if you can define 2 or 3 years as an era, but that's certainly the trend the last couple of years, runs down. And so an extra 90 feet on the bases is really significant. Maybe not so much in a game like this, but on a lot of nights it is.
That's the 6th error for Upton. We talked about Montero having 8. 6 is a lot for an outfielder, too. Now it's Myers with runners at first and third, nobody out, showing bunt early and taking ball 1. Roberts was very close to him by the time that pitch arrived.
Yeah,
now Dave Clark comes down.
And I think Roberts is getting some instruction from the Diamondback dugout as a women. Now don't be too anxious coming down that line, because you're going to allow Barmas to follow you down the third baseline and score easily on a sacrifice bunt. If you hold your ground, it's not a squeeze situation here.
Excellent point.
He's coming again.
Myers is taking it.
And what Barmas can do as the base runner is he can just follow Roberts down the line, and say Montero goes out to make a play on a bunt and throws to first or second base. In all likelihood, the play would be to first. Barmas could just walk home. Or he could force Montero to take such a long look at him, they won't have a play.
Bunted fair. Here's the throw to second base. Myers not running, and the throw to first base. Double play. Myers didn't even drop the bat and run. He thought apparently that it was foul, but that's an easy double play. It's the worst possible outcome for the Astros.
It sure is. You'd rather strike out than do this. So this is the second bunt double play we've had in the game tonight.
Two to 6-4. Michael Bourne is 2 for 2. Fastball works for strike 1. Danny Espinosa hit a home run for the Nationals to give them their run. That was his 7th. Strike 0-2. Well, apparently, according to some reports, the Giants are shopping for a catcher after the horrific Buster Posey ankle injury. And Pudge Rodriguez might be out there for their consideration.
Bruce Bochy might have to slap the gear on and go back there.
Well, it's a double blow to lose an exciting young catcher who was the rookie of the year and the cleanup hitter on a club. And just think, in the last few hours, JD, they have lost Posey, one of the critical players on their club, and the Rockies lost Jorge De La Rosa, one of their best starting pitchers. So the balance of power may have shifted here in the last 72 hours or so quite a bit.
Yeah, reports out of San Francisco that Posey's season likely over.
Line drive hit. Michael Bourne drives in another to make it 6-0. Bourne's 3 for 3. 3 runs batted in.
Daniel Hudson almost got off the hook after allowing that leadoff walk, and then the single by Quintero, but another clutch hit by Michael Bourne. Driven in 3 with 2 outs in this ball game. Nothing cooking in the Diamondback bullpen.
Interesting. Now Jeff Keppinger's the batter. He drove in a run last time up. He's 1 for 2. Fly ball to right. Upton to end the Astros 4th inning with 1 run scoring on 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left. 6-0 Houston.
Fan of the game. Actually, we've got two because I'm a softie for grandfathers and grandsons. We're out here behind home plate. This is Bill LaRue, grandfather, and his son, Zachary. Zachary's going to be 6 next month. And how many times you come to the ballpark?
This is the very first time.
Oh, my goodness. Are you both lucky? You're lucky. The Astros are ahead.
I remember when they built this and built the Astrodome, but this is the first time I've been in this park since it's been built.
Well, you got good seats and you got a good lead. You are our Progressive fans of the game, and I will give you the Progressive bag, which has some goodies in it. You both can take a look at this for being our fan of the game on Progressive. Thanks for coming to the game.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing good luck. Back up.
Thank you, Zach.
Okay, back upstairs.
Now their first trip, that's a good one. Miguel Montero took ball 1. And now it's a 2-ball, no strike count in this 6-0 game. Montero hit a fly ball to left in the second. Special thrill for a youngster like that to come to his first game in a new stadium. For him, anyway.
Yeah, he's going to get fireworks tonight and everything.
3-0, special treat after the game. And fireworks started pretty early for him, with the Astros getting 2 in the first and 3 more in the second. Now a leadoff walk, exactly what was not in the planning for Brad Myers with that big lead. That's his first walk.
How about Homer Bailey going on the DL, Brownie?
Didn't know about that.
Yeah.
He only went, what, 4 innings yesterday, so.
He's got a sprained posterior capsule in his right shoulder.
Ooh.
No timetable for his return. Mike Leake will make the start tonight in his place.
Juan Miranda is the batter.
Actually, Leake is starting in place of Edinson Volquez, who was optioned out. So shakeup in the rotation in Cincinnati, and they certainly had their struggles lately.
Well, Bailey looked good against the Astros. There's a visit to the mound by Quintero, but now he's down. Zach Greinke is warming up in the Arizona bullpen, the lefty, and Astros with this nice lead. We'd love to see Myers take it very quickly through these middle innings. Parra's on deck. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Miranda. Now it sounds like Edinson Volquez is really in the doghouse, according to some of the stories, when he was demoted to the minor leagues. They may not want to bring him right back with that vacancy in the rotation. 1-ball, 2 strikes. Phillies 3, Mets 3 in the 8th.
Miranda arguing that ball was down, but looked like a pretty good pitch. Down in the zone for sure.
The Reds have been dropping back in the standings too. They're 4 games behind St. Louis right now. They've lost 8 of 10. Milwaukee's climbed into second place. Myers throws the off-speed pitch. That takes it to a 2-2 count. Roy Oswalt went 6 tonight for the Phillies, giving up 1 earned run. Chris Capuano had those same numbers for the Mets, and it's tied 3-3. Neither will get a decision. They're in the bottom of the 8th now.
Wilson Valdez probably getting ready in the Philly bullpen.
How about that?
He got the win the other night in the 19th inning. The second baseman forced into action on the mound. Well, I heard something that said he was the last position player to start a game and then come in to pitch and get a win was Babe Ruth.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good stuff. And then he got a standing ovation when he came to the plate the next day. Bouncer goes foul. Of course, they had a day game the next day after playing 19 innings at night. It's almost a baseball rule. And the Astros had their 22-inning game in '89 with the Dodgers at the Astrodome. Of course, there was a day game the next day, and that one went 13.
Yeah.
It's Texas 7, Kansas City 6 after 2 wild innings in Arlington. Ian Kinsler hit his 6th. Murphy number 4.
You know, Myers last couple starts is trying to throw his fastball a little bit more. He has such good breaking stuff, and he's come to rely on it. And especially in critical situations. And there was a quote by Jose Bautista after that game in Toronto when he hit the home run up, Brett, and he said, 2 strikes, the book is look for a breaking ball, and that's what I got. And when you think back to that strikeout of Chris Young last inning, he froze him with a fastball, and I guarantee you Young was following that scouting report looking for that breaking pitch.
And the ball goes foul again.
And Myers, he's pretty clever out there the way he uses his breaking stuff, because he'll throw a slider, a curveball, and he'll also throw a cut fastball. So he's got a lot of different looks with that breaking stuff. Among the conventional pitchers, i.e. guys that aren't knuckleballers, there's very few guys that throw fewer fastballs than Myers.
High to right field. Hunter Pence backing, turning. And now at the wall, he tries to climb up there, but that's a 2-run homer by Juan Miranda, number 4, and it's 6-2 now. Miranda has driven in a dozen this season. A walk and a homer get the D-backs on the board.
Yeah, and if you were to talk to Brett after this game, he would probably tell you I'm more upset about the leadoff walk than the 2-run homer. I've got a 6-0 lead. Can't afford to be walking people, and this pitch was not in the strike zone. It was up and away, and that gives you an idea how strong Miranda is to reach out and yank that ball into the right field seats. This pitch is off the plate away and let her high.
And he's been Mirandized. Sean Burrows comes out to the on-deck circle. Gerardo Parra, the batter, takes ball 1.
That's what makes this Diamondback team dangerous. They have depth of power in their lineup. And the starting 8 tonight have combined to hit 45 home runs.
Line to Johnson.
Contrast that with the Astros lineup tonight, and they've hit 20 home runs.
Now Sean Burrows is being called back. Pitcher spot due up next. Hudson won't bat, apparently. Let's see who's coming up. Hudson will bat. Well, it's a 6-2 ball game. Hudson bunted into that double play in the 3rd inning. He's staying in. Surprise, surprise.
Well, I think this is an instance where, in the middle innings, when you go to the pen, you're typically going to either inexperienced guys or, not your frontline relievers. And even though Hudson's not having a good game, he's pitched so well this year. Kirk Gibson feels like he's still the man for the job, apparently.
It's 1-2. Charles Nagy's the pitching coach. He was a good pitcher. Hudson is down on strikes. That's number 3. We go to Greg Lucas.
For a limited time only, the Astros are offering you the steal of the season with the 10 for $20 plan. You get outfield deck tickets to 10 pre-selected home games for only $2 a game. Tickets are available only online, so buy yours at Astros.com. Don't miss out on that.
2 outs after the 2-run homer by Miranda. Ryan Roberts looks at strike 1. The line back to Myers in the 3rd after grounding out the 3rd his first time up. The Diamondbacks notes talk about their coaching staff. Glenn Sherlock is one of the coaches. Don Baylor, Charles Nagy, Alan Trammell, Matt Williams, and Eric Young were all all-star players. Well, that's a heck of a coaching staff, and 2 league MVPs, which you saw earlier, Baylor and Gibson. 5 Silver Sluggers. Gibson, Baylor, Trammell, Williams, and Young. 2 Gold Glovers. 2 playoff MVPs. Overall, 16 All-Stars, 8 Gold Gloves, and 12 Silver Sluggers on that staff.
So when the Diamondbacks roll into town, all the autograph seekers are chasing the coaching staff, leaving the players alone.
There's Nagy.
I wonder if he and Fulcino had a UConn alumni meeting today.
Maybe so. Ripped left field corner. Fair ball. Here's Roberts heading for second base with double number 6 of the year. So a homer and a double from the D-backs bring them back here in the 5th inning, and Johnson comes up.
That's what they do. They hit home runs, they hit doubles. Pretty athletic team. They go first to third well. Steal bags. And he is inked up. Big time.
In tight to Johnson. Kelly singled to left and stole a base in the fourth. He's 1 for 2. Kelly never really blossomed with the Atlanta Braves the way he did last year. He had a breakout year with Arizona. It's 2-0. Kelly was a compensation pick by the Braves after the first round of the draft in 2000. Hit 26 homers, drove in 71 runs last year with a .284 batting average, far from where he is now, of course. 3 balls, no strikes. Kelly hit for the cycle in 1 game last year. He signed as a free agent with Arizona, too. He had been non-tendered by Atlanta.
Not be surprised if he's got the green light here.
Yeah.
Looked like he was taking all the way.
3-1. In that Mike Leake start tonight for Cincinnati, things are going very well. Reds lead at Atlanta 3-0, bottom of the 5th inning. Off speed, it's 3-2 now. Tommy Hanson went 4 2/3 for the Braves. Ball 4. Could be an even bigger inning now with Upton coming to the plate. Second walk of the inning and of the game.
I couldn't have missed by much.
Upton was hit by a pitch and he flied to right.
Well, let's see. Number 6 on Fox Tracks, just off that inside edge.
Brad Arnsberg watching, and he sees ball 1. .31 pitch inning for Myers. It gets him 277 for the night. 1 ball, 1 strike. Milwaukee shutting out the Giants at Milwaukee 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Tim Lincecum on the losing end of that one right now. Ricky Weeks hit his 9th home run. Sean Markham going for the Brewers. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Upton hitting just .204 with runners in scoring position so far this year, and staying away from the big guy.
It's 2-2. Eli Whiteside is doing the catching for the Giants tonight. Buster Posey out. Giants called up another catcher from the minor leagues.
Eli, pretty good catcher, and he has a little pop in his bat, but obviously cannot replace Buster Posey.
Myers started to walk off. It's a full count now. Good pitch coming for him with a 4-run lead. 2 men on. And the runners will be going. Upton strikes out. In the 5th inning, Myers allows 2 runs on 2 hits. 2 men are left as he gets his 4th strikeout. 6-2 Houston.
AT&T Trivia. What two teams has the Houston franchise thrown the most no-hitters against?
Wow.
It's the same number for both of the teams.
All right. Hunter Pence, the batter. Grounds one to the left side. Ryan Roberts over. One pitch, one out for Hudson. Hunter's 1 for 3 now. What two teams? All right, let's see. Cincinnati.
Where did he hit that ball? I got to mark my scoreboard.
To third
base. 5-3.
5-3.
Let me see. Cincinnati. Darryl Kyle got the Mets. Mike Scott got the Giants. Don Notabart. Who did he get? Phillies?
Yeah. Sounds right. Well, they're kind of scattered, aren't they?
Well, one clue is that it was a very unusual no-hitter, and the other clue is against one of the teams, and the other one is that strange circumstance.
Well, one unusual hitter was Ken Johnson. No-hitter. Ken Johnson lost it, but the other one was the 6-pitcher no-hitter against the Yankees, but there was only one of those.
Yeah, that's not right, but
no.
Let's just say Ken Johnson.
Let's say Cincinnati was one of them.
There's one.
Okay.
I got you a little tip.
What was it? Two no-hitters? The two against these two teams, or is it more than two?
The answer is 2.
Yeah.
Carlos with a one-hopper. Steven Drew fields it. Throws him out. 2 down. All right, let's see. We need a second team.
Who'd Nolan get? Dodgers?
Yes.
That is not going to get you a little tinkle.
Okay.
You're looking for the big one.
We're looking. All
For
right.
a little tinkle?
Okay. Brett Wallace is 0 for 2. 2 fly balls.
The team is not currently in the Astros division.
The Phillies.
No.
The Expos / Nationals.
No.
Well, Dirk for his no-hitter against them.
The Mets.
No, but I'm trying to think how to do another clue on this.
You could say, name the only remaining National League team that you haven't named.
Yeah. We start naming all the teams if we can remember them. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, they used to be. They've been in 3 different cities.
Oh, Atlanta.
Nice.
Wow, but that was it. That was it. Atlanta and Cincinnati are the 2 teams. 2 no-hitters each. Don Wilson and Ken Forsch against the Braves.
Okay.
Don Wilson and Ken Johnson against the Reds.
Oh, yeah, because
Wilson's unique one was that back-to-back job with Maloney.
Yeah.
And then Johnson's was the one in which he actually lost.
Yeah, he lost the no-hitter because of an error. Wallace strikes out, and that's a 1-2-3 fifth. So Kirk Gibson has done the right thing. He's left Hudson in, and it's 6-2 Houston.
By Whataburger. By Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards. By Ice Road Truckers on the History Channel. And by Gullo Automotive.
6-2 Astros. There's strike one here in the 6th inning on Stephen Drew from Brett Myers. Drew has struck out and fouled out to third. D-backs got a 2-run homer in the 5th to get on the board for the first time. That breaking ball almost clipped him on the leg. It's 1-1.
If he had to do it all over again, he probably would have stood in there and let that hit him.
That's right.
They need base runners. I don't mind taking a breaking ball in the leg. A lot kinder than a fastball in the ribs. But instincts kind of take over.
They do.
Self-preservation.
Bet. Drew came into this game 4 for 9 against Myers with 3 walks, but Brett's pitched him tough so far tonight. It's a 1-ball 2-strike count. Ubaldo Jimenez is pitching tonight for the Rockies. He's having a rough year. He's in a 2-2 game with the Cardinals in the 3rd inning.
Westbrook for St. Louis tonight. What do you think is going on with Ubaldo, Brownie?
Haven't seen him on the highlights enough to know really. Well, he had that finger injury for one thing, so he apparently has not been healthy. But get this, he could become one of only 3 pitchers since 1920 to have 19 wins one year and not win any of his first 8 starts the next year. That's a walk, and Drew does reach base.
It's a humbling game.
You know it.
For those of you who weren't listening to us, there's the answer to the trivia. What is that? Oh, that's what you guys earn.
Yeah.
When you get it right.
We like that bell.
That's a full bell there. That was.
And it travels too.
Yeah, it does travel.
Silver Slugger.
Silver Slugger. Now Myers, Quintero talk it over with a runner at first. Drew runs pretty well.
And this is how the 5th starter leadoff walk to Montero, and then Miranda went deep. You see the breakdown of pitches by inning. Brett working awfully hard there in that 5th. Chris Young, who's had a lot of big games in this ballpark here in his hometown. Very dangerous hitter.
He hits a line drive. Carlos Lee moving in left field with a grab. So Young is 0 for 3. Myers has thrown 89 pitches now. He could come up in the bottom of the inning.
Cut fastball ran away from the barrel out towards the end of the bat. Took some of the steam out of that line drive. There's action now in the Astros bullpen. Escalona. And it looks like Lopez warming up. Nope, check that EDR.
Jamie Quirk had some fine words today for EDR and Ariel Del Rosario. There is ball 1 to Montero. Montero with a fly ball to left, drew a leadoff walk in the 5th and came home on the 2-run homer. Jamie said it takes an Ariel about 4 pitches to get ready.
I thought you were saying he was speaking highly of his character.
Well, he did. He said he's very calm and composed. If that's what you meant. 2 balls, no strikes.
I thought maybe he was bringing snacks for the guys in the bullpen.
Oh, well, he might be doing that too. Things are going very well for EDR.
Full of wonderful anecdotes. That's important out there in the pen.
He might be.
It's a social thing.
Fly ball, Michael Bourne's way. Back into center. Ooh, that's a 400-foot. Out number 2.
The last 2 innings are attention getters if you're Brad Mills and Brad Arnsberg as you analyze your man out there on the bump. Struggling in the 5th. Walk, line drive, deep fly ball here in the 6th.
It's either a home run or off the wall in a lot of ballparks. Now Miranda. He hit one out, a 2-run homer in the 5th. He's 1 for 2. Ball 1. But as they say, we're not in a lot of ballparks. We're in this one. And pitchers talk all the time about getting outs to center field in this park. Myers just did it. In tight with a breaking pitch. It's a 2-ball, no strike count to Miranda. Diamondbacks cut the ties to Adam LaRoche and decided to move on and open up the first base competition this season. So Miranda could really take this and run with it. 28 years old.
It's a fairly young team, and the payroll is down near the bottom of Major League Baseball. I think they're about 25th. So I don't think there were really high expectations out in the desert for this 2011 version of the Snakes.
They will host the All-Star game in the desert this year, July 12th. 3-1 to Miranda, who's from Cuba. Defected in 04 to the Dominican Republic. And he and Jose Contreras were teammates in Cuba. Fly ball right field. Could this be another two-run jack? Hunter Pence watches it go. That's the second of the night for Miranda.
Pretty much the same pitch.
A pair of two-run homers, and Kirk Gibson's club is riding the bat of Miranda to a two-run deficit now. It's Astros 6, Miranda 4.
Read him his rights. Again, it's a high fastball. The other one was out away from him a little bit more than this one, and maybe up a little bit more, but the result pretty much the same, and that's going to do it for Brett Myers.
Brad Mills comes out to grab the baseball from Myers in this 6-4 ball game. And with Parra, the lefty hitter, due up, it's going to be the lefty reliever Escalona coming in. 6-4 Houston. Back right after this. Baseman Miranda made it a closer game. Time for a look at our Farmers Insurance report card now on the Astros bullpen. The report has been A+ recently. Since May 18th, the Astros pen has allowed just one earned run in 22 innings for a 0.41 ERA.
By golly, that's really, really good.
Sergio Escalona, the only lefty in the bullpen, pitched twice in the Dodgers series without giving up a run. And it's Parra against him. Parra looks at strike one. Myers threw 97 pitches. You see Escalona's season. Parra rolls over on a breaking ball. Keppinger there. And he gets out number 3. 2 runs scoring on 1 hit in the middle of the 6th. 6-4 Astros.
Join the Astros tomorrow for the first Faith and Family Night of 2011. The Astros host the Diamondbacks at 6:05, and after the game, fans can enjoy a free post-game concert with contemporary Christian artist Jeremy Camp. Tickets start at only $7. Visit Astros.com tonight.
That is a great deal. A lot happening out here tomorrow night. 6:05 start for the baseball game. Chris Johnson's the batter. Home sixth inning begins with a score 6-4. Houston. Johnson's 1 for 2.
Now, Bud Norris has been pushed up to make that start tomorrow with Wandy Rodriguez having a tender elbow. Wandy with an MRI scheduled for the morning. So by game time tomorrow, we'll know more. We're not televising. I imagine Bud's parents are jumping on an airplane to come in and watch that game.
That's right. I hadn't thought about that. They might have to be here in person. 0-2 for Hudson. Hudson's at 85 pitches.
They'll go on the internet and listen to the radio or XM.
Yeah, there are some options.
I like to watch the games though.
Well, they won't have that one to watch. Ground ball, diving Roberts. He gets up and throws. Good play. 1 out. Kirk Gibson getting some extra mileage out of Hudson. He could have pinch hit for him, but it's worked very well to leave him in.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, you never know how things would have worked out, how they pinch hit had they hit for him, and perhaps somebody reaches in advance of Roberts' double back there in the 5th. But I just think he liked Hudson's chances of putting a couple zeros on the board and allowing his team a chance to get back into it. And that's the way you manage when you have confidence in your team. And having won 9 out of 10, 11 out of 13, and hitting a lot of home runs, you can understand why Kirk Gibson managed that situation the way he did.
Varmus pops it up. He was jammed on that one. Caught by Johnson, 2 outs. That's 6 straight retired by Hudson.
I think if you're Brad Mills and you were in a similar situation, you probably would have pinch hit because you just don't have as much firepower. Your ability to come back is not as good.
Well, Charles Nagy, the pitching coach, talking with Gibson. The pitcher Hudson's due to lead off the 7th. And now he'll face Quintero, who singled to right in the 4th. Q is 1 for 2. 8 hits for the Astros, 5 for the D-backs. The D-backs have 2 errors.
I'll tell you one thing, you don't want to try to come back against this D-back team late. Your bullpen has been outstanding. J.J. Putz, the closer, is perfect in save opportunities. They are 19-0 when leading after 7 innings, 21-1 when leading after 6.
It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Only the Phillies have a better record when leading after 6, and that stat you quoted from Arizona. Wilton Lopez is warming up. Bill Hall's on deck. 1-2 with the pitcher spot due up next.
I think the difference between Hudson now and Hudson early in the game is just his ability to command that outside corner to the right-handed hitters. Much sharper.
He has the looks of an innings eater this year. .93 pitches in this one. He's been over 100 in the last 7 starts. The lowest pitch count he's had in a game this year is 98. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that says something about his makeup too, that they want him out there even though he's not having a good night.
Fields the comebacker. He stretches out to go 6 tonight. 6-4 Astros through 6. Coors Light, showing you the center fielder Chris Young coming in on Michael Bourne's liner. He had it in his glove and then it dropped out. And Michael wound up getting to second base with a 2-run double. What a key play in this game as the Astros got 3 in the second inning. If that catch is made, it's out number 3. They don't get any runs, and Arizona could be leading by now. Oh, so close for Chris Young. Now it is a pinch hitter, Willie Bloomquist. He's batting for Daniel Hudson. Hudson in 6 innings allowed the Astros 8 hits, 6 runs. He walked 1 and fanned 4. And Bloomquist is an all-purpose type player. You strike 1 to him. Bloomquist can play a lot of different positions. He's hitting .272 with 1 homer. He's driven in 7. He's had 81 at bats. As a pinch hitter, he's 0 for 4. Hudson threw 95 pitches, 64 for strikes. 4 balls, 2 strikes to the former Seattle Mariner, Willie Bloomquist.
Been around a long time, a jack of all trades. Played a lot of different positions. Runs well. Doesn't hit for power.
Punches the looping liner into right field for a pinch single. Hunter Pence gets it back in, and Bloomquist gets something started in the 7th. Now Brad Mills is coming over to the home plate umpire. Escalona, with a pitcher spot due to lead off the home 7th inning, will be coming out, it would appear.
It looked like Brad was just going to try to go batter by batter with Escalona here, try to get him through this inning, but tying run is coming up. And make a double switch.
Chris Johnson's coming out. Angel Sanchez moving in, and it's 6-4 Houston. Back in a moment.
UTSA football, the birth of a program. You know, they've been playing pretty good basketball for years, but now football joins the mix. The new head coach, Larry Coker, coached a national champion elsewhere. UTSA's strength coach is doing the heavy lifting, or at least he's getting his new players to do it. UTSA, the birth of a program, Saturday night at 10, right here on Fox Sports Houston.
Thank you, Greg. We have a double switch. Angel Sanchez comes in to play third base. He's batting 9th. He'll be leading off the bottom of this inning. And Wilson Lopez takes over in Chris Johnson's number 6 spot in the order. He's 1-1 with a 2.41 ERA.
See, Wilton has not allowed an earned run in his last 7 appearances, just 1 in his last 10. Good candidate to get you that ground ball and get a double play.
Roberts takes ball 1. He has a double and 3 trips. Lopez worked in the Wednesday 2-1 win over the Dodgers. 1 scoreless inning. Showing bunt. Roberts takes a strike. 1-1. Quintero came up out of that crouch, took a look at Bloomquist at first base. Scrappy D-backs trailed 6-0 when they came to bat in the 5th inning. They got 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. Both times Miranda hit a 2-run homer. Fairly unusual that a player will hit 2-run homers in consecutive innings, but that has really brought them back.
Leadoff walks in both of those innings in advance of those home runs.
Rip foul.
That's what will gnaw at Brett Myers tonight. And he lays his head down on the pillow. Man, I can't believe I walked those guys.
Yeah, that's a tough way to start an inning.
But you know what? If the bullpen does the job, he picks up a W and you move on. Matt Williams, boy, what a player he was.
Oh. Slugger, very, very good glove man at third base.
Just a good hard-nosed player.
Line drive hit to right field. Hunter Pence comes over to pick it up near the line, and it's 1st and 3rd for the D-backs on the single by Roberts. Roberts is now 2 for 4. Arizona really has something working with Johnson coming up.
Yeah, we talked about those numbers for the Diamondbacks when they lead late in ball games, and you know all about the Astros' problems this year. They're just 13 and 6 when holding a lead after 6 innings. 12 and 7 when leading after 7.
Now Roberts at first. Kelly Johnson single to left in the 4th. He drew a walk in the 5th. He's 1 for 2. Keppinger and Barmas set up to turn 2. Liner over shortstop makes it 6-5. Michael Bourne over to play it. He throws into second, and again it's 1st to 3rd. Roberts going around. Now a 1-run game at Upton.
Just a great approach in this inning by these Diamondback hitters. Just nice short paths to the ball. Nobody's over swinging, hitting the ball where it's pitched. Watch this one moving away from Johnson, and again he shoots the ball the other way. He had that hit between 3rd and short last time. Now lifts it over Barmas's head out there. That's not the Kelly Johnson I remember from Atlanta. He was kind of a turn and burn, tried to jerk everything.
Yep. Recast himself. Now it's Upton. Upton 0 for 2, hit by pitch. And that pitch was dangerously elevated. Ball 1. That was the situation in Toronto when Wilton was on the mound and was relieved in that game in the midst of a 2-1 count on a hitter. Mark Melanson came in to get a 5-out save.
This is the type of club you'd love to have a couple of left-handed options in the bullpen for. 5 left-handed bats in their lineup tonight, and now you're trying to cling to this 1-run lead. Obviously, don't need one here for Upton, but Drew on deck is left-handed, and then further down the lineup, Montero, Miranda, Parra, all in order, all swing from the left side.
In the air. Foul ball, Brett Wallace. And big out for Wilton Lopez. Stephen Drew follows. Drew was struck out, fouled out, walked and scored. Chris Young is on deck.
Drew 1 hit and 3 at bats in his career against Wilton Lopez.
Rolls that one foul, strike 1. Left-handed hitters are 8 for 33 against Wilton Lopez, 333 average coming into this appearance. He's not bounced into a double play in 27 chances. You might say he's due.
Overdue. Lucky he didn't hit that one. It might have been a double play ball.
That's true. Sometimes a pitch is too good. No balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, you know, until you have 2 strikes, I think a lot of times the hitter tell you you'd rather make no contact than bad contact.
Tampa Bay and David Price shut out Cleveland 5-0 in St. Petersburg tonight, beating Josh Tomlin. Upstairs for a 1-2 count. Tomlin has been phenomenal for the Tribe. He had 9 straight quality starts coming into that game tonight. Kochman and Fold went deep for the Rays. They're 4 games over 500 right now. Fouled away, 1-2. He didn't quite get a quality start. He gave up 4 runs in 6 innings. Price struck out 12 in 7 shutout innings tonight. Sergio Escalona in 1/3 of an inning allowed 1 hit, 1 run, but no walks, no strikeouts. Two to Drew now. Casey Jansen got the win for Toronto. The Blue Jays downing the White Sox in Toronto tonight 4-2. Beat Mark Burley, whose record is now 4-4. John Roush got save number 6. Frank Francisco's been moved out of the closer spot. 3-2 now. He may get some opportunities, but it's going to be passed around among several members of the bullpen for now. Big 3-2 pitch coming here.
See if they start Kelly Johnson down there at first base. Not on that one.
Rampaging Florida Marlins are at Los Angeles tonight. That game will be starting shortly. They swept the Giants in San Francisco. Ball 4, loads the bases for Young.
Good tough at bat there by Stephen Drew after falling behind. Looked through a lot of pitches that were close enough to offer at. He showed a very discerning eye. Went off the plate, but a pitch that had been called earlier in the ball game.
Now bases loaded, 1 out, and it's Young who's 0 for 3. Young last year in this has more extra base hits than any other major league center fielder. 85. 2 grand slams in his career for Chris Young.
Didn't he hit one here?
Yes.
He did something big here. A couple big games.
Hit 2 home runs in a game here. That was his first game here. And of course, his love coming back ever since then. It's his home. And he hits well. Said he likes the hitting background. He knows that members of his family will be here and former teammates and things of that nature.
2007, he became the first rookie ever to hit more than 30 home runs, steal more than 25 bases. It looked like superstardom was on the horizon. He hasn't turned into that type of player. Strikes out a lot, but he's a very good player. An all-star last year.
Little dribbler. Lopez hustling, throws home, but not in time. And now Quintero's down, and the tying run's going to score. And the ball's picked up by Wallace. 2 runners come home. Quintero is down, and Arizona has taken the lead now. But Quintero is the issue. That throw from Lopez got by him as Roberts scored the tying run. And then Johnson was able to come home and give Arizona the lead 7-6.
Ironic, after the Posey injury, here we go in Houston in a very difficult play. His only option was to come home. It was a heck of a play by Lopez, but Q gets that right ankle flipped backwards as he takes that hit from Roberts. It's like the throw may have hit the base runner. Yeah, hit the Roberts in the backside. He had nowhere to go. Q was blocking home plate. Had no option but to hit him.
Yep. Got him on the left hip.
And then that right foot gets caught underneath.
Yeah, that right ankle is bent back. It's an RBI single for Young, and then an error on Lopez allows Johnson to score the go-ahead run to make it 7-6. Bruce Bochy was talking about the Posey injury, and he'd like a review, maybe try to set up a different system of trying to avoid catcher injuries with the rule book, but it's very difficult to do that.
Yeah, it would be hard. I think, you know, on a bang play like that, it's just a freakish play. You have no choice. But this is just very bad news for Q as he's being helped off the field here. You know, a play where the throw's coming in from the outfield, I think there's a lot of times where the catcher has the option to try to block the plate or to catch the ball and then make a tag. And you know, maybe, you know, certainly if you're the Giants and Posey being such a valuable guy to their team, you know, maybe the message would be, Buster, you know, don't put yourself in harm's way. I know that, you know, in the heat of battle, you want to block the plate, but it's too valuable. We can't afford to have you. Kind of like an outfielder. Sometimes you tell a guy, hey, we appreciate you going after balls and leaving your feet, but don't run into walls and jeopardize your season. Again, that's easier said than done.
The Astros lost the lead and lost their catcher on the same play. Now J.R. Tolles is warming up.
And he really never has time to set himself to take this hit at home plate. This little, see, he initially broke out to try to make a play on the ball. Then he had to go back to home, and he never quite got his balance. And that right foot caught underneath him as he took that hit.
Tough sledding here for the bullpen. Escalona surrendered a run. Now Lopez, as assistant athletic trainer Rex Jones on the bench, takes a look at Quintero, and now Tolles will be taking over. Runners at second and third. Young got the RBI, his 27th of the year, continuing to second on the error. Now it's Montero the batter. Montero's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Miranda's on deck. He's hit a pair of 2-run homers. The infielders come in.
And still just one out in the inning.
Shot to short. Here's a play at the plate for Barmas, and Tolles, he tagged him out. Stephen Drew has gone down from 6 to 2. We're out number 2. Young to third base, Montero to first.
So sure enough, one pitch after Q has to leave the game, we got another play at home.
Yeah.
This one not quite as violent, a routine tag play at home there for JR, but good concentration to handle that ball down and then hang in there and apply the tag. 2 hands, grab a hold of that ball.
He got low. It might have been spiked there. Fernando Rodriguez warming up for the Astros. Here's Miranda now. He's hit a pair of 2-run homers his last 2 times up. 2 for 3 in this game. Daniel Hudson to be the winning pitcher. Strike 1. Miranda's the 8th Diamondback to bat here in the 7th inning. Big gap out in right center field. Michael Bourne shakes to left center, as you see there. And tight for a ball. It's 1-1. 21,834 the paid attendance on this Friday night. They watched Arizona come back from a 6-0 deficit to grab a 7-6 lead in a wild one. It's 1-2. Fernando Rodriguez joined the Astros from Oklahoma City on May 18th. He hasn't pitched in a game yet. 9 days later, he's warming up again. It's 2-2.
Probably feels like he's being redshirted.
Yeah. Once again, Brett Myers will come away without a win tonight. Another no decision for him.
8 straight starts for Brett without a win. I think that's the longest such stretch in his career.
It is. Rolled out to second. Keppinger on to Wallace. And the Diamondbacks add 3 to grab the lead. They put together 4 hits with an error and left 2. It's 7-6 Arizona in the 7th. Into a 2-6-3 double play started by Humberto Quintero, who now has left the game with an injury. J.R. Tolles has replaced him. And meanwhile, on that very play on which Quintero was injured, Diamondbacks have taken a 7-6 lead. 7th inning stretch time still going on here. Meanwhile, oblivious to that, Cam Micolayo has come out of the bullpen. A big right-hander takes over and gets a situation with a hold possibility attached to it. JD.
Yeah, last season the bullpen a big problem for the Diamondbacks. 5.74 bullpen ERA was the highest in Major League Baseball. Coughed up 24 save opportunities this season, led by J.J. Putz. They've turned it around dramatically. So the Astros have a little bit of a hill to climb here. They've got 9 outs to play with. They've got Angel Sanchez leading it off.
Sanchez in the 9 spot, facing a pitcher who in 5 games has no decisions with a 7.94 ERA. He is 6'9".
Yikes. I'm with you, Angel. That front shoulder got a little wobbly there as the 6'9" guy stepped right at him. Works from the first base side of the rubber and then steps way across his body. That's pretty intimidating for a right-handed hitter on your first look.
And it's 0-2 for Cam Micolayo. Pitched for Baltimore last year, only 3 games. He was at Norfolk most of the season. Line drive left field. Parra with the grab.
Good swing.
1 out. That's 8 straight Astros set down by the D-backs. The Coors Light cold hard blast. Michael Bourne led off the game on Wednesday. Here was the first pitch thrown by Ted Lilly of the Dodgers, and it's his first ever leadoff homer in the majors. The Astros won it 2-1.
Heck of a night tonight. 3 out of 3 with 3 driven in.
Showing Buddy takes ball 1. Micolayo was traded last December from Baltimore. And the Reynolds deal, the third baseman Mark Reynolds going to the Orioles, along with reliever Daniel Hernandez, who's done quite well. 2 balls, no strikes. So Kevin Towers, the general manager, remade that bullpen. You saw the ugly numbers from last year. And Nicolayo and Hernandez a big part of the remade 2011 pen. Line drive left. Here's the jump by Parra, and he gets in quickly.
Wow, this guy can induce some line drives to left. I'll give him that. Two very good swings, but two quick outs. Here's what those right-handed hitters have to deal with. You see, he starts on the first base side and then steps way across his body, right towards the hitter in a right-handed box.
Nicolayo came in with the bases loaded in the 5th inning of the doubleheader in Colorado Tuesday. Allowed all 3 runs to score. Jeff Keppinger takes strike 1. He is 1 for 3 with an RBI in his return to the Astros lineup tonight. In 15 games at AAA, Nicolayo had a 4.42 ERA. Line to right field, and that's a hit in front of Upton. He had thoughts of taking one away too.
You can't give up that many line drives and not give up at least one hit. No, nobody's going that good.
Kepinger's 2 for 4.
Imagine a certain amount of concern over in the Diamondback dugout with the Astros, the swings the Astros are getting out this big righty.
Hunter Pence ripped an RBI double in the 1st inning to take his hitting streak to 8 games. He's 1 for 3. Carlos Lee on deck. And it's ball 1 to Hunter. First time the Astros have seen Nicolayo, who's from Wolf Point, Montana, went to Utah Valley State. 6'9", 255. That's a load. Joe Patterson's warming up now, a lefty.
A lot of room to grow up there in Montana. Spread out.
Strike on appeal. Ryan Runge with the call, and it's 1-1. Foul back, a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Hunter Pence. Astros led 6-0. Now they trail 7-6. Arizona bullpen ERA this year is 3.33. It's 2-2 now to Pence. Each club has 9 hits. Diamondbacks have left 6 men on base. The Astros have stranded 2.
Terrell called for that last pitch way up. He's coming out of his crouch, and big guy almost threw it in the dirt.
He did that time. Looked like 3-2 now. And with 2 outs, Keppinger will be turned loose.
See, it's a good way to come to the ballpark and get a little workout in. A little cheering aerobics.
You bet. Keppinger takes off. 3-2 pitches, ball 4.
Boy. Right off a tough pitch.
15th walk for Hunter.
That looked awfully good for a good long while before finally dipping down, and that one could have gone either way.
Charles Nagy arrives at the mound.
How about Keppinger coming back and ho-hum another 2-hit night? Kind of got used to that last year.
Not that easy, is it?
Apparently for him it is. Pretty good at putting bat on ball.
Carlos Lee got the little infield hit in the 1st inning. He's 1 for 3. He's hit the ball on the ground all 3 times.
So probably a lot of people saying, well, if Keppinger was so good last year, why did the Astros feel like they had to go out and replace him? Well, the Astros didn't hit a lot of home runs last year. They haven't hit a lot this year either, and that's why Ed Wade went after Bill Hall and Clint Barmas, because in the past they've shown the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. really part of Keppinger's game.
Aaron Heilman's warming up for Kirk Gibson. Carlos Lee takes ball one. There's a definite downward plane going. The ball comes out of the hand of Cam Micolayo. He came up when Sam Demmel was placed on the DL. Now 2-0. He had parts of the last 3 seasons with Baltimore before the trade, but he had been drafted by Seattle in the 18th round in 06. Ripped on a line.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker. Probably going to score 2.
Depending on the carom. Looks like it might have. That guy got one earlier.
Yeah.
Still not acting like he's been there before.
Oh, he's in the right man in the right place tonight.
Lucky carom.
She's a little jealous up behind him there.
Now 2-2. Red Wallace on deck.
Fastball is pretty straight. It has good life, especially when it's up like that. Yeah, look, he's one more and he's got enough to juggle.
You think they know he got a couple foul balls tonight? Line drive, left field. Power breaks in, makes a sliding catch.
This young man, this big fella here, is one lucky right-hander tonight. 4 BBs hit in this inning. 3 for outs.
2 men left. Still 7-6 Arizona. On the field for the Astros, the sleek Michael Bourne. Infield hit. Here's hit number 2. This turns out to be a 2-run double as Young almost caught it. And then an RBI single to left. 3rd RBI of the game for Michael Bourne. He is 3 for 4, and then he lined out just a moment ago in the 7th inning.
Yeah, those hits in the 2nd and the 4th both coming with 2 outs, delivering 3 runs, and a very good swing last time as well. Part of that barrage of line drives, but the Astros failed to score. And they continue to trail by a run, and now Jeff Fulcino comes out of the Astros pen, following Escalona and Lopez. And he's 1 and 2 with a 3.32 ERA. He's got the 8-hole hitter up. Looks like the pinch hitter, and then the top.
Gerardo Parra batting. Sean Burrows on deck. David Hernandez in the bullpen. There's strike 1. Parra lined out himself in the 5th inning. Maybe that's why he's extracting his revenge by catching all these line drives in the outfield. But he's 1 for 3. Good outfielder. He had 2 outfield assists at 3rd base in 1 inning this year. That's a big left field in Arizona. No balls, 2 strikes. Tapara, good guy to have leading off an inning. He runs well. Has a 342 on base average coming into this game. Lefty hitting Burrows on deck. Good split by Fulcino, and he took care of him. Struck him out for out number 1.
Yeah, that's a dandy right there. Perfectly placed.
Now lefty hitting Sean Burrows. Former Major Leaguer Jeff Burrows, his father, was the American League MVP in '74. Well, Sean was a first-round pick of San Diego in '98. He is 1 for 6, and he's reinvented himself. He had not appeared in the majors since '06 until this year.
Talk about perseverance.
Yeah. Ball 1.
Was he the first pick in the country?
He was number 9 that year in '98. Then he was traded to Tampa Bay, was with Seattle. Signed last November as a free agent with Arizona. And according to one story somebody was telling about him today on the air, he'd gained a lot of weight, wasn't playing, and just decided to drive to Las Vegas, get himself in shape. Called his agent, said, "Get me a job," and it's worked out very well. He had big numbers at AAA before they called him up.
That's a phrase you don't normally hear. Drive to Las Vegas and get in shape. It's not normally a place you think of. Thinking about getting in shape.
Yeah, that's where fighters go to fight, not to train, right? 2 balls and a strike.
People go to Vegas for a lot of different reasons, but getting in shape normally not one of them.
Late on that fastball from Fulcino, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Sean Burrows, 280 major league hitter. Jeff and Sean were the second father-son first-round draft choices. Tom and Ben Grieve were the first.
And Jeff coached him in Little League. Remember, they went to the Little League
right.
World Series.
3-2.
Sean never hit for the power they expected with the Padres. He came up at the age of 21 in 2002. And the following year, was an everyday player. He only hit 7 home runs.
Got a pinch hit last night. Fouls it away. That hit last night was his first big league hit since May 3rd, 2006 against the Yankees when he was with the Rays. Started in game 2 of the doubleheader Tuesday at Colorado.
It's an interesting story here. He is now at 30 years of age.
And gets another knock. So 2 for 2 in his last 2 pinch hit appearances. And Burrows comes off the bench after Bloomquist did that same thing in the 7th pinch single. Now Fulcino has 1 out, 1 on, and Ryan Roberts batting. Roberts is 2 for 4. The Astros have Wallace, the pitcher spot, and Barmas due up in the last of the 8th inning. Sanchez even with a bag at 3rd. And the throw goes over. Phillies beat the Mets 6-4. Philadelphia got 3 in the top of the 9th at New York. Antonio Bastardo with the win goes to 3-0. K-Rod, Francisco Rodriguez lost it. And Ryan Madsen got his 10th save. Ball 1. Drew Storen in Washington topped San Diego 2-1 in Washington, beating Mike Adams. Mike Morse hit another home run. He's homered in 4 straight games now. It's a 1-ball-1-strike count.
Ricky Weeks has homered for the 9th time. Giants lead the Brewers, however, 5-3. Milwaukee on a 6-game winning streak. Crawford homered for the Giants. Brandon Crawford.
Never heard of him.
No.
They just called up. Okay. Just called up Brandon Belt again. With the injury to the catcher Posey.
Loading up on Brandon's. Backy ought to give him a call.
Yes, he should. In the air to right field, Hunter Pence measuring it. 2 down. And it's Kelly Johnson.
Cardinals lead the Rockies 6-3. You know, the Rockies are the only team in Major League Baseball to never have had a Hall of Famer plan on their club.
Didn't know that. We should try to load up on one.
Well, they probably have one over at first base now. When Helton there, when he retires,
that's true.
He'll probably get in.
Johnson has 2 hits, an RBI, and a walk. That's ball 1. Jason Giambi's hit a few home runs for the Rockies lately.
He had a 3 home run game the other day.
Sure did. Tim Wakefield in Boston knocked off Detroit 6-3 at Detroit, beating Rick Porcello. Broken bat, fly ball. Carlos Lee in left. In the 8th inning, no runs, a hit, a man stranded. Still 7-6. Zona. The game is brought to you by United. Proud to fly the Houston Astros. Brett Wallace is hitting .400 in inning 7 and later, and Brad Mills will have him leading off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. He is 0 for 3. So the Astros hoping to strike back after giving up all of that 6-run lead and then falling behind. With David Hernandez, a very good season underway, coming in to pitch the 8th.
Yeah, he has been nails for the Diamondbacks. Hard throwing right-hander. Averaging better than a strikeout per inning. He could be a little wild, though. He's walked 14 and 22 in the 3rd, but tough to hit. And he's kept it in the yard. Hard thrower. Fastball averaging around 95 miles an hour. Complements it with a curveball and a changeup.
Wallace looks at strike 1. Brett has hit 2 fly balls for outs and then struck out. Hernandez was traded as a part of that Reynolds deal along with Nicolayo. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. David from Sacramento, California. Lefties are hitting only 175 against him. And Ariel Del Rosario is warming up for the Astros. That floats up high, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Hernandez started 8 games last year for Baltimore, but in relief his numbers were better. He wound up with 72 strikeouts and 79 innings for the season. Wallace to right field, Upton over, and that loops in front of him. He was playing way over toward the alley, and Brett is on with a looping single.
And that's the kind of ball, if you're standing on the mound, if you're standing in the Diamondback dugout, when you see it go off the bat, you're thinking that's got to be an out. Upton very, very tentative in his approach to this ball.
Yep. Now Matt Downs will be the pinch hitter for Fulcino. Wallace leaves for a pinch runner at first base. Bill Hall. Matt Downs, a .259 hitter, has 3 homers, 11 runs batted in. He's 3 for 9 with a homer as a pinch hitter. Hall attracting some attention. Fulcino in 1 inning allowed 1 hit, no runs, had no walks, 1 strikeout. Nicolayo 1 inning, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Downs takes a look at it, and it's ball 1 for Matt. The Astros as a team have 15 pinch hits and 66 at bats with a couple of homers, and this man thumped one of them. If he hits another one here, this place would get pretty anxious. High drive left field. Parra running along the base of the left field wall, and right there makes the catch. Hall had to retouch going around second base, and the throw does not get him because it's not caught. But he had rounded second, had a retouch on the way back, and the throw never really reached Miranda from Parra deep in left.
Wow. Wow, man, I thought he got it. I knew he didn't get all of it, but in this ballpark, I thought he got enough of it. He likes to hit the fastball, and he got one. Quite catch it out in front enough. And Brownie mentioned earlier, Parra, a very good outfielder with a very strong arm. Bill Hall knew exactly how far he could go and still get back in time.
Yeah. He used up every inch of it. Clint Barmas bats next. Taking strike 1. He's been hit by a pitch. He's walked 0 for 1 with 2 runs scored. Parra tracked it down after making all 3 catches in the 7th inning. He's taking care of the last 4 putouts for the Diamondbacks now. A little dribbler. Hernandez to first. Barmas retired with Hall to second, 2 outs. And J.R. Tolles will be the batter. Coming in for the injured Quintero.
Tolles went from just an absolutely terrible slump to hero the other day, and he's got another opportunity to be heroic.
Yes, he does. He was 0 for 32 when it came to the plate Wednesday in the 2nd inning. He had a double and 2 singles, and the second one was the game-winning hit. Second single, 3rd hit of the day in the bottom of the 9th. So now can he keep it rolling the other way? His batting average climbed to .229. He has 2 homers, 5 runs batted in 70 at bats. There's strike 1. We've not had a report on Humberto Quintero, but just thinking about catchers at AAA, Carlos Corporan, a switch hitter, looked pretty good in spring training for Brad Mills. That one's blocked by Montero. He lifted up. He got kind of lucky on that one that it didn't stay down and scoot between his legs. 1-1.
Chance the Astros will need a catcher. Chance they'll need a pitcher soon too if Wandy can't slot back in at the back of the rotation.
It's a 2-ball 1-strike count Pence and the Astros led 6-0 when the Diamondbacks came to the plate in the 5th inning. Now it's 7-6.
Lundy will have an MRI tomorrow to peek at that left elbow.
And hangs upstairs. It's a 3-ball, 1-strike count now to J.R. Tolles.
See how aggressive Hernandez wants to be here. JR hook that fastball into the seats, and the Astros would have a 1-run lead. Didn't want to show him a fastball.
With the wall. Now Angel Sanchez. Kirk Gibson's pitcher. Hernandez facing the number 9 hitter. Montero out to talk. As JD mentioned, J.J. Butts has 14 saves. Hasn't blown one this year. And is trying to hold this lead in the 8th inning. Charles Nagy comes out.
Yeah, we talk a lot about relief pitchers and the saves and closers and the save, at least in my opinion, is a really overrated statistic. And I was looking at Putz's numbers. He's having a really good year. And I don't want to take away from what he's done, but I was looking at some numbers. He has not come into a game this year with a man on base. And that's the case most of the times with closers. And so a lot of times it's these guys that work the 7th and 8th innings that are coming in to get out of jams that really do the heavy lifting. But they don't get their own music when they come out of the bullpen. They don't have theme music and bells ringing and video board presentations.
Angel Sanchez hit a fly ball to left. And strike 1 to him. Joe Patterson warming up again, the lefty. Max Ramirez did the catching last night for Oklahoma City. Fouled away. The ball's 2 strikes. Hopefully Humberto Quintero will be all right.
And well, the problem with the catcher, you can't go with just one catcher. So even if he's day to day, I think you got to get somebody else up here. You got to find a way to create room on the roster.
He attacked the high pitch, hit it down the right field line, and over. The ball's out of play for him. Here's the announcement on Quintero. He has a sprained right ankle. As you look at the lefty Joe Patterson. And also the right-hander, Aaron Heilman. Struck him out to end the 8th inning with no runs a hit. 2 men stranded, 7-6 Arizona.
Astros with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv tonight to see every Astros game live or on demand on your computer or your favorite devices. Visit Astros.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. We got some changes on the mound at first base, and Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies will fill us in, guys.
Matt Downs is playing first after doing the pinch hitting and hitting that fly ball to the base of the wall in left field. After Brett Wallace left for the pinch runner Bill Hall, new first baseman is Downs. New pitcher ARI Del Rosario. He is pitcher number 5, and his ERA is coming down. It's down to 3.60.
Well, right there at the bottom of that graphic, you see why. No runs allowed in his last 9 appearances. It's primarily with a two-seam fastball that runs in on righties. And a slider, he'll work to the other side of the plate. Tries to sink the ball. He's not a strikeout guy. Just tries to make good quality pitches down in the zone.
He's coming in to face the 3-4-5 hitters of the Diamondbacks. And the Astros will have their top 3 hitters in the order due up in the bottom of the 9th. Bourne, Keppinger, and Pence. Justin Upton is 0 for 3 after being hit by a pitch. Drew is on deck, and then Young to bat third. Each club has 10 hits. The Diamondbacks have 2 errors. The Astros with 1. And it's ball 1.
J.J. Putz warming up in the bullpen. In search of his first blown save of the year. There's that good runner.
1-1. Jamie Quirk was talking about that and how that pitch can have the illusion of being a strike. And that's the way Anario is successful when he throws it that way. It's a 2-1 strike count. Anario's really gained in confidence with those zeros he's been putting up, as you might have noticed on that graphic. It's been a while since he's allowed a run. Line drive left field going foul. It's 2-2. 21,834 the paid attendance. We've seen a back and forth game. They've seen the Astros build a 6-0 lead after 4. And the Diamondbacks got 2-run homers in the 5th and 6th innings from Juan Miranda and took the lead with 3 in the 7th. Slider got him a strikeout on Upton.
Just a very nice job of executing there, working that sinker down and in, and then coming back with a slider off the outside edge. Just beyond the reach of Upton. He wasn't looking out there, he was looking in.
Stephen Drew is 0 for 2 with a pair of walks. Has scored a run. Looking at ball 1. It's a 2-0 count. Astros have won 2 games on this homestand from the Dodgers in thrilling fashion in their final at bat. Monday they got 3 in the 9th to win it 4-3. Wednesday they got 1 to win it 2-1. So Anario Del Rosario trying to keep this at a 1-run deficit, so they might be able to do it yet a 3rd time on this homestand. 3-0. And he lost Drew to a 4-pitch walk. 3rd walk for Drew. 5 walks for Astros pitchers. Double play in order for EDR, as we call him, and it's Young coming up. Young is 1 for 4 and RBI. Jason Michaels is remaining on the Astros bench to be used if they need a pinch hitter.
He's the sole survivor.
Yes, he is. Del Rosario's in the number 5 spot on the lineup card. Drew diving back on the throw over. And the Astros, when they made room on their roster for Jeff Keppinger, sent Brian Bogusevic to AAA Oklahoma City after the game Wednesday. So they do not have a left-handed pinch hitter who was on the bench when this game started. All right-handed bats. And they also lost an outfielder in Bogusevic. And Matt Downs was working out in right field before this game today just to make sure that he might be comfortable.
All hands on deck. Because Bill Hall has played a lot of outfield in his career. And Jason Bourgeois, when he comes back, is a guy who can go out and play outfield for you, of course. I do think they're a little right-handed, though. Brad would love to have a left-handed bat at his disposal. Don't have many in the lineup, don't have any on the bench.
No. Young takes it. It's ball 1 to Chris. Brewers are batting in the bottom of the 8th, trailing the Giants 5-3. Cincinnati 5, Atlanta 1, top of the 9th in Atlanta. Line drive, left field. That's looping into foul territory. 1-1. Ramon Hernandez hit his 7th home run for Dusty Baker's Reds tonight.
About a foot foul. Would have been an easy double for Young and likely an insurance run for the D-backs. Drew down there first base, runs well. Throw over there or do something here.
Off back, it's 1-2. Kansas City's just put up a run in the top of the 9th at Texas to tie the Rangers 7-7. Neftali Feliz is on the mound. Alex Gordon homered to tie it. That's his 6th of the year. Fouled away, and it's still a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Bruins beat Tampa Bay, Brownie. Oh, the Stanley Cup final, 1-0.
Bruins were at home.
Bruins play Vancouver for the Cup, for Lord Stanley's Cup.
So their goalie really got it together, and he had been sort of shaky in some of those games in that series.
Bruins have not won the Cup since 1972.
Greg Lucas.
I got a note from yet another sport, soccer tomorrow. The UEFA Champions League final comes to the Fox Television Network with a rematch of the 2009 final as Barcelona looks for their 3rd championship in 6 years. Man U looks to avenge their 09 defeat and claim their 2nd title in 4. Fox Sports exclusive coverage of the UEFA Champions League final begins tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central in high definition.
145 million people watched that event last year.
That is unbelievable.
Somehow I missed it.
That's big stuff. Those are the 2 of the real storied clubs.
Yeah. Which would be your favorite?
I've always been fond of the Man U.
Yeah.
George Best. A lot of history, a lot of tradition there.
I saw Barcelona Stadium once, so I guess I'm one of their fans.
Okay.
There you go. It doesn't take much to draw you in.
Everybody has some kind of a connection.
Kind of a hook. Man U, I'm a man. I like them. I'm going with them.
Tolles was able to slide out and block that well enough to prevent any advance by Drew, and it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count now. Pretty good movement here.
So important to keep that ball out in front.
Pretty close. Drew went diving back into first.
You know what Buck Showalter says?
What?
Shin guards don't lie. See the catcher's shin guards start to go down. The ball's going to be in the dirt.
Okay.
Yeah, see, look at the shin. You know, if it goes down into a blocking position as a base runner, you know the ball's in the dirt.
That's a good thought. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Young takes a look down at Matt Williams giving signs.
Mario obviously has to be aware of Drew over there, but really slowing things down. Getting out of rhythm.
He's going, and it's a broken bat foul. Angels and Twins are tied 5-5 after the Angels just picked up 5 in the top of the 8th. Minnesota club continues to struggle big time. Blowing a 5-0 lead at home now to create this tie. They're now batting in the bottom half. Twins are 5-13 at Target Field this year. Runner goes, and again a foul ball.
Cardinals piling on the Rockies now, 9-3. Top of the 8th out of Coors Field. 16 hits for St. Louis in that one.
Ooh. Pujols has 2 hits, 2 runs batted in. Holiday not playing again. He's still having quad problems. Runner going, another foul ball.
Spoiled a good pitch there. And Rosario making one good pitch after another, and Young just able to get enough to stay alive. This is just a dandy down around the knees with sink.
Mark Teixeira just belted number 14 for the Yankees in the first at Seattle. Another foul ball.
You're going to have to implement the 4 fouls in your out rule. Chris Young back in his hometown wants to provide as many souvenirs as possible.
He's taking care of a lot of people. Jose Bautista needs 1 more homer to be a 20 home run hitter by June 1st. Runner going, ground ball hit to the left side. And the D-backs keep it churning with runners at first and second, 1 out on Young's second hit of the game.
Yeah. Del Rosario didn't want to change his game plan. He just kept throwing one sinker after another. And finally got one up a little bit now out over the plate, but you can't fault Del Rosario there. He's just trying to finally end that battle.
Montero next. He's 0 for 3 with a walk.
That's the beauty of that sinker. Let him put it in play and let him hit it on the ground. Hopefully you'll have somebody in position to make a play for you, but if not, it's usually a base hit, not an extra base hit.
Miranda's on deck with Montero batting.
This guy's pretty good at getting that low ball in the air.
James Loney of the Dodgers hit home run number 2 of the year. Dodgers lead it over Florida 1-0 after 3. John Garland of the Dodgers has 3 hitless innings under his belt. Ground ball and diving Downs. Throws from his knees to second. Beautiful play by Downs. Hasn't played very much first base, but that was a sparkler as he made the accurate throw to Barmas.
Yeah, that's a pretty play. Very nice. Downs will tell you, I just want to play. I don't care where they put me.
That's just a supreme effort there. Laying out for it, and he got up to his knees, made an excellent throw. Miranda's next with a pair of 2-run homers, 2 for 4. Rolled out, Keppinger to his right. Flipping over to Barmas for the force. No runs, one hit, 2-man left. Bottom of the ninth ahead. A 1-run lead for Arizona, 7-6.
By the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Do the Astros have one more bottom of the ninth rally to win? Top of the order coming. J.J. Putz on the mound. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies will take us home.
Fans are ready to watch one more of those rallies you described. Can they do it against a pitcher who is perfect in saves, 14 for 14, JD?
Yeah, he's been rather stingy, hasn't he? Just one home run, a 176 batting average. His whip, walks plus hits per innings pitched, is 0.86. That's really good. A little under a strikeout per inning for the big right-hander. It's fastball, slider, and a very good split finger pitch. And he's had a lot of these. A lot of one-run saves for JJ.
Michael Bourne has 3 hits tonight and 3 runs batted in. He lined out and is only out. And that's fouled away, strike 1. Putz got the night off last night because he had been working so much. He tossed a scoreless 9th inning on Wednesday at Colorado, picking up save number 14. This is a club record to start the season, 14 straight.
His ERA for May is 0. He allowed 1 run. It was unearned.
He's ahead 0-2 on Bourne. Keppinger and Pence to follow. J.J. Putz with 14 saves is tied for 3rd in the majors. That's the longest active streak. He gets a strikeout. 1 out in the 9th. Putz 34 years old, came up with Seattle.
It's a split finger pitch, and the bottom dropped out of it. Throwing that 93-mile-an-hour heater, and then comes back with that pitch, and very difficult to recognize.
Jeff Keppinger's 2 for 4 with an RBI tonight. Gets a fastball for strike 1 at 93. Putz from Trenton, Michigan, went to the University of Michigan, and he grew into that closer role with Seattle. Then he was traded to the Mets. Spent 09 with them and last year with the White Sox.
His manager and he will have some fun when college football season rolls around. Gibson's an All-American receiver at Michigan State.
Putz listed at 6'5", 250. Hunter Pence on deck. It's 1-2 to Keppinger.
Frustrating night for Brad Mills. Coming up back-to-back series wins, finally starting to get a little something going, some positive feel, and then you have a 6-0 lead going into the 5th inning in your home ballpark with your lead dog on the mound. Feeling pretty good about things, but this Diamondback club, they're red hot right now, looking for their 10th win in 11 ball games.
Toward the right field line, Upton comes over. 2 outs for Putz. The Astros down to their final out have Hunter Pence batting. He's 1 for 3, an RBI double in the first. He also walked in the 7th.
Everybody clapping, firing up. Guy telling his daughter, Hunter's coming up. He's our hero. He's your favorite player. He's going to hit a home run for us. In the year of the improbable, the impossible has happened.
Kirk Gibson's club this year has won 6 straight one-run decisions. Earlier they had lost 6 straight one-run games. Ball 1. Carlos Lee on deck. Diamondbacks trying to go 3 games over 500. They were 4-3 against the Astros last year.
Hunter Pence was 5 years old when Kirk Gibson hit that home run.
1-1. Two balls and a strike. It's 3-1. Putz has 120 career saves and 150 opportunities.
Well, just one long ball so far this year.
Ball 4. Well, Hunter Pence has taken walks in the 7th and 9th innings. And it's Carlos Lee next. He's 1 for 4.
That's the mindset, though. A late inning reliever. They'd rather walk a guy than challenge a dangerous hitter in the middle of the strike zone. On a hitter's count, especially 3-1. And he's just trying to clip the outside corner. If he was going to miss, it was not going to be over the plate. It was going to be down or out.
Ball 1 to Carlos. He is 1 for 3 in his career against Putz. Most of these Astros hitters have never faced JJ.
Carlos really barreled it up last time, lining out to left field.
Jason Michaels is on deck. Pitcher spot due up next.
Lean out there and get it. Good swing.
1-1. He attacked that pitch.
94-mile-an-hour fastball. Good rider. Good aggressive swing.
Hunter takes off. There's a throw from Montero. It bounces. He steals it easily. And the pitch was a strike. It's 1-2 now. Pence is 3 for 3 and steals.
I love this play. Even though you got a guy with power at the plate, the likelihood that you're going to
hit a game-winning home run is pretty darn small. I feel like you got a good chance of getting the bag. I love the aggressive play there. It just takes a single.
And with a 1-2 count, Carlos will be trying to do exactly that.
And he'll go into his two-strike approach, spread out a little bit, just try to shorten that stroke.
Fouls it away. That time he did get the bat up to that 94-mile-per-hour heater. A little bit quicker to the ball. Outfielder's extremely deep.
It's a smart pitch because Carlos has the reputation around the league of being a good two-strike hitter, a guy who protects against that off-speed stuff down in the count.
Trying to check that time, he fouled it. Plenty of action tonight with 13 runs on 21 hits combined. That one's punch foul. Miranda sliding, can't get there. Good effort by the first baseman.
He's already hit 2 home runs tonight, and he almost made a heck of a play here. Had some aggressive swings at that high fastball, but has not been able to get the bat head out in front of it.
Popped up. Kelly Johnson underneath. And Arizona comes roaring back from a 6-0 deficit, putting together 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th. And relief pitching holds off the Astros. Kirk Gibson's club now has won 10 of the last 11 games and captures this one by a final score of 7-6.